I'm grateful for that. I had my epiphany for this morning about the significance of the human existence in relationship to the perceived significance of human existence on this planet, and how narcissistic our perceived perception is versus the actual reality of our significance. I mean, this planet will go on as it did, some billion of years prior to man's existence.
However, a lot of energy was expended for man to exist on this motherfucker.
Right. Nature expended an immense amount of energy in order to produce man, and she waste not, want not. So therefore, we have to think about our responsibility, and then in the fact that nature has given us a certain amount of leeway. I mean, she could have just wiped us off the map. You know what I'm saying?
Way back when. With the first ice age.
Right.
Y'all gone.
Y'all done.
But the fact that we have the level of cognitivity we have, it really speaks to that responsibility that we have to use it properly and not misuse it like we've been doing.
Right. And we've been misusing it for and the thing about it is it developed, you have to realize that man developed the majority of what he does in the last 14,000 years. For almost 1 million years, man was here, or hominids were here, without the capacity to do what we do. And if not for the capacity to do what we do, we would have been extinct. You know what I'm saying?
Eons ago.
And that is a product of nature. That is nature's love for man, that she gave this inadequate anomaly the ability to do something that would put her very ecosystem at jeopardy for her desire to preserve what she put in an efficient and a exorbitant amount of energy into producing. Man,
so how dare we misuse? My hair is crazy.
But how dare we misuse the cognitive responsibility that she's given us as a result of our inefficiency to motherfucking maneuver our environment.
And not only given us, entrusted
us with. I mean, we have the ability to affect our ecosystem unlike any other fucking goddamn species. That's an immense amount of responsibility that nature's given us. And so when I say nature is our God, there is objective information to determine that nature is our God and that we have no other God but nature. And we have a certain obligation to respecting the responsibility that not only she's given us, it's fuck Trump.
It's kind of whack.
Yeah, it is kind of whack. I mean,
what else do they have?
Some other shit.
Okay. Anyway, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it.
So, this, you know what I'm saying, this perceived significance needs to actually, come into objective alignment with the true insignificance of man. That we're not a necessity to nature, but nature is a necessity to us.
And in a sense, we kind of are a necessity to nature because we're able to express. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that part.
That's the only asset. We're not a necessity, but we are an asset in a sense that we help the universe, for lack of a better word, understand itself. We have a very unique, we're a very unique manifestation of the collective unconscious. And we're able to do things like art, you know what I'm saying? And not just unconsciously. I mean, the wind could blow and some leaves could look really cool and wow, that's art. Or a tree could bloom or flower, that's art. But that's not a cognitive thing. That's not purposeful. It just is what it is.
Right.
When we do art, we can write. We have language. We have a third dimensional perception of this third dimensional reality. But the thing is that we're not doing is elevating that to a fourth dimensional plus consciousness.
Right.
To where you want.
We're in line with nature's desire for its purpose for man.
Right. In a symbiotic relationship with this planet and the other cosmic bodies around us instead of this parasite. We're being parasites right now.
Right.
Because we're stuck in the bridge between 2 and 3 dimensions and not the bridge between 3 and 4 dimensional reality.
Right. And that's where we need to be. And actually we need to be started Because, I mean, we have a perception of time. And that perception of time actually is a fourth dimensional perception in which the majority of our personal epistemologies do not give us a clear perception of our fourth dimensional reality. And we should be moving into a fifth dimensional perception that the manifestation of our metaphors, the realization of our metaphors, living our actual metaphors.
Yeah. I mean, being a psychologically healthy society.
Right, being a psychologically healthy society, and we have the potential to do it because we have a group epistemology, not just the individual epistemology. We have a group epistemology that has the capacity for us to live our full psychological potential, achieve our full psychological potential.
Right, but every time we have like a thought leader that can bring that into being, for example, the first person I think about is Nikola Tesla.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
When we have the means to do that, the motherfuckers want to shut them down and make them seem irrelevant. And Edgar Casey, you know what I'm saying? Like, shun them, make them seem like da-da-da, blah, blah, blah.
Well, they drained the shit out of Edgar Casey. They literally underutilized an incredible resource. And then, misuse that resource like we do. The same way we do planetary resources, they did Edgar Casey. Edgar Casey was an incredible resource, human resource, that, that was entirely wasted. And I'm not just saying that within one ethnicity or in one, national group, just Americans.
Just on some science, on some human shit.
On some human shit.
That was a very usable human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they misused the fuck out of that human.
And I'm saying that we as humans have done it regardless of the culture, regardless of the ethnicity. We've done it time and again. We have discarded our thought leaders, our brilliant thought leaders, to the side in order to accept motherfucking mediocrity. Is that how you pronounce that word?
Like, forgive me, y'all, but like Malcolm X versus Martin Luther King.
Right.
Like, who's the first motherfucker you think of when you think Black History Month? Martin Luther King. But for me, the first person I think of when I think Black History Month is Malcolm X.
And then even to go deeper than Malcolm X is Elijah Muhammad, because it's like and then you got to go to Wallace Farad Muhammad. And I hate to say Farad because I came out of that. So the Farad is just like difficult because people start using it for fraud. But you got to go even back to Wallace Farad Muhammad. That it starts with his teaching of Elijah Muhammad, and I also think Drew Ali. That leads to a lot of thought leaders in our community. I mean, Hiram X, who is Yahweh ben Yahweh, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Farrakhan, Ali Muhammad, Polite because of Malachi York and the influence Elijah Muhammad had on Malachi York. So you really cannot, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when we talk about thought leaders, again, that's a thought leader that was discarded and continued to be discarded. And then a thought leader before him, Noble Drew Ali, a thought leader who had a process, you know what I'm saying, where people accepted the different thoughts. Booker T. Washington in relationship, people chose Booker T. Washington over W.D. Du Bois. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, what? We've done it over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of the culture, regardless of the ethnicity, we choose the inferior thought leader over the, you know what I'm saying, more progressive thought leader. You know, that one that speaks to our traditional thinking versus the evolutionary thinking. Because that's when you talk about Malcolm and when you talk about Elijah, they were talking about an evolutionary thinking in relationship to the thinking that we were in. You know, that the white man or a particular white man was God, and that they had and that their religion was and culture was far more significant than ours, and that black, by way of their definition, was, you know what I'm saying, the proper definition for the word black. I mean, I can go on and on about how we, you know what I'm saying, do that as a species. But yeah, I'm gonna let this go. I'm going deep into like 9 minutes.